There is no better place to start today than talking about Fermín López, people. Fermín López with the hat trick. I think really he just has cemented his place in the starting 11. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están, bullies? Here, welcome back to another video here on the channel. And as you can see, we have a brand new room, you could say. I just painted it. I did some things on the back, but whatever. You don't care about that. You care about Barcelona today, and boy, oh, I care do so as well, because 6-1 against Olympiacos. My goodness, we saw Fermín getting a hat-trick. He's been close so many times throughout this and the last season. He has been there scoring braces. Against Valencia, he scored 2 this season. Last campaign, he scored many games similarly like that, but he has never gotten the hat-trick, and now it has happened. Finally, he gets the 3 goals, he gets the hat-trick, and puts Barcelona in a very good place after the defeat against PSG in the Champions League, and after, you could say, the sort of questionable win against, who did we play the other day? Against, against Girona in La Liga, you know, and all in the preview to El Clásico. And I think that is very, very good, because we have been sort of lacking a player in that position behind the striker. And I think that throughout the season, and we could have seen it last season as well, the end of last season, Fermín has always been the undisputed starter, you could say, in that role. But he never really kind of cemented his place, and he has done it. He has done very good performances, do not get me wrong, but it just seems that, you know, there was always somebody else being called upon. You know, as soon as we got someone like Marcus Rashford in the team, people are saying, hey, Rafinha should move on the number 10. Oh, if we were gonna get another winger like Luis Diaz or Nico Williams, then Rafinha on the 10. It was always like Fermín López was never the first name to be in the score sheet, and well, now on the lineup, he's there, you know, and he's there, and I think he needs to be there. I think he makes Barcelona better. I think that he's one of those players that really does make us a clinical side, and a side that is able to finish chances. I always say this. I think one of the best finishers in the world behind, from outside of the box. I don't see any other player you want to take from Fermín. I think he's top 3 in that role. I mean, him, Çalhanoğlu maybe, and Federico Valverde, and that's it. I really do put him up there with the quality, the strike that he has. The third goal was really, really good, and even the second one, I think, was even harder than the third. I think overall, Fermín López is just a wonderful player to have, and I'm just very happy that he's here. So if there's something that you have to take away from this video, be that Fermín López has to be the starter. But of course, I don't want to waste more of your time, but the ones that really do want to stick together and want to prove that Barcelona is the best YouTube channel here, the best fan base on YouTube, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. But let's continue and talk about, for me, the next big highlight, which of course is Marcus Rashford. Normally we kind of talk about in terms of lineups, we talk about in terms of in order, but I just think that we have to start from the end in this game. I think that Marcus Rashford continues to prove himself as a very good player. 5 goals, 5 assists, the most out of any player in Barcelona this season. That is something very nice to see from someone like Rashford. I think we are very, very lucky to have a player like this that can be transformative in such a way. Hansi Flick has really gotten the best version out of Marcus Rashford. The confidence that he's oozing right now is so good. He looks to take incredible shots. The free kicks that he attempts are very difficult, but they're all on target. He's a wonderful player, and we're just so lucky to have someone like him. And if we end up at the end of the season with a Marcus Rashford like this, that has, let's say, 15 goals and 15 assists, you need to buy him. I think he's undisputedly probably our best player so far this season. And that's something that with the first 3 games under a Barcelona shirt, I never thought or anticipated that was going to be the case. So good on Marcus Rashford. I think he's a very, very deadly player. And I think that we're looking at him as our number 9 at the moment. Certainly for a Clásico, I think now this game against Olympiacos has really set the sort of tone that how we're gonna play against Real Madrid. I think that Lamine Yamal is gonna be in the team. I think that Rashford is gonna be in the team. I think that Fermin Lopez is going to be in the team. I think those three players are going to be there. I just don't know whether Rashford is going to be a winger or a striker, because we could see Rashford as a striker and then Ferran Torres or Rafinha, if he comes back from injury sooner rather than later, playing on the left, or they could alternate, Ferran at the striker position and then someone like Rashford on the wing. Regardless, I want to talk about the other attacker today that was present, and that was Dro Fernandez. Dro Fernandez, I honestly I gotta admit that I was a bit surprised to see him in the lineup today. I thought that he particularly hadn't the best debut the last time around, but today he looked completely different. He played on the left-sided attacking midfielder position, and I think that suited him better. Particularly, I think the combination and the link-up play with Balde and Fermin Lopez was very good from him. He was always sort of one step ahead, and I think that is something that is ingrained on La Masia players. You could see the flick that he did to Balde, the back heel. That was also a nutmeg included in that. In the first half was really, really good. And it was, the repertoire of these kids, these youngsters are really, really amazing. So, Dro Fernandez, I think he's a good proposition. I do not think that he will start. Who knows? Maybe if Rafinha and Ferran Torres are still injured, but who knows, Then after that, I think we should move onwards to saying that Rooney Bardghji, that's, I think, apparently how his name is pronounced. I think that he today, apart from El Elástico that he did, for the third goal of Fermín López, that was insane. That was really good. I haven't seen an Elástico in a long time being attempted, since Neymar maybe. And he actually pulled it off. He actually pulled it off. The Swedish Messi, they used to call him. And I think he has something about it. He has something about him. He always looks to prove himself. He definitely wants to cement his place in the team. Not necessarily being a starter, but someone very important to the side. I think that the problem is that he won't get that many minutes because Lamine Yamal is always going to be the starter. But I think he's perfect for that role. The role of whether Lamine is out, let's bring this other youngster in that I think he has a lot of potential in him. We might be seeing that maybe Rooney might want to leave in 1 or 2, 3 seasons. 1, 2, 3 seasons, that's my attempt. My hypothesis that maybe he could leave, but for the time being, I think he's really, really happy to be here, and I think he's always contributing. I mean, he wanted to shoot on goal for that goal for Fermin. He slipped and actually gave an incredible assist to Fermin Lopez, and sure, that's how the third goal for Fermin came, and the fourth of the game. Was it the fourth or the fifth? I have honestly no idea. We scored so many goals today. And Rashford could have also had a hat-trick, dude. Imagine if Fermín López and Rashford had both a hat-trick. That would have been absolutely incredible. Regardless, I think there are attacking options. What looked thin like 2 weeks ago, is starting to look a little bit more... what's the word? A little bit more substantial, a little bit more juicy. Our attack is looking a little bit better. I think that Cazador, for coming in for Frankie de Jong in this game, was probably just rest. I would definitely continue to start Frankie de Jong and Pedri for the game against Real Madrid. I think the backline, it's set on stone. I think that probably we're going to be seeing the same backline for Real Madrid. I think we're going to be seeing Chesney, Koundé, Cubarsí, Eric Garcia, and Alejandro Balde. So guys, next up, I kind of want to just mention that the game, even though it's good, we have the 6 goals to boast, everything going well on our way, everything going Barcelona side, I think that we must sort of take into account that, yeah, even though we scored 6 goals, even though we demolished Olympiacos, it was until the 3rd goal and from a penalty that, in my opinion, wasn't a penalty. Until then, Barcelona were sort of struggling a bit. I mean, our quality was good enough to get us past Olympiacos and get 2-1 up, but the way that we defended still is very, very bad. I think that we are lacking quite a lot in the pressure. Barcelona are still not, I think on full gear. I think they're not up to form yet. And you can definitely see that in the team at the moment. So I would take that with a very big pinch of salt, because I don't want to sort of, go to a Clásico and then bang, out of nowhere, we lose that game. I think that in terms of mentality and conduct, I think we're being very professional, and we certainly are always motivated to come back into the games. I think that makes us a very, very deadly team. But the reality is that we're starting the games very, very softly, and that is something still where we need to improve. I think that mainly this could be done to the players and the lineup sort of getting into chemistry, perhaps, because Casado is not a regular starter. Fermin Lopez was coming back from injury. What's up with me today, dude? I'm so tired. I was tired because there's a lot of cleaning that we need to do in this room, and I just been moving everything around, and that gets me tired. But yeah, I think that overall that sort of sums it up. I think that we need to be very careful ahead of El Clásico, and I think we need one more player, a Rafinha coming back. I think that clutch player is what we definitely would need for that game. I'm worried 100% about the defense, but do not get it twisted, guys. It's not only about the center backs that we need to worry. We need to worry about the pressure of the entire team. I think that's maybe why Hansi Flick is trying to incorporate Marc Casado in the side. We've seen that the game before Girona, the game before the break, we played Pedri, Casado, and Frank de Jong together, and it was sort of like a normal midfield three, with the single pivot. This time around, Casado and Pedri both made up the double pivot, and we had Fermin up top. And I'm just interested to see what Hansi Flick is going to be doing, for this next game. So, guys, I'm going to leave it right there. I just want to make it short, sweet, and good. And, yeah, I hope you have had a wonderful, wonderful week. And I'll see you. Is it Sunday El Clásico or maybe Saturday? I'm not sure. I see you whenever El Clásico is. Remember to drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao, ciao.